Hello, Algebra 2 people, and welcome back. Today we're going to continue solving rational expressions part 2. So we're still going to be solving rational expressions and identifying domain restrictions. And today we have a little bit of a twist. So I'm going to be showing you how you're going to work through your hyperdoc, how you're going to do the additional activity that's a little bit different. And yeah. So today's warm-up, you're going to identify the domain restriction for the following problem and why must we restrict the domain at these values. So you not only have to identify it, but you have to answer this question of why. You can insert a photo here, you can attach a photo to your work, or you can just type your response. This one warrants a typed response if you would rather. So it's up to you, your choice. Then today we're going to be solving rational equations again. And actually, you guys have done so well that you've been cast for a new reality TV show called WHODUNNIT. Yeah, it's actually like a remake of an old show. There used to be an old show called WHODUNNIT. But basically is you are watching this show that has 6 contestants, and the contestant with the lowest score gets injured. Now, this is a little bit more of the PG version because in the real show back in the day, like somebody got murdered. But this isn't a murder mystery. It's just a mystery game show to figure out who got injured. And it's your job to determine who did it, where was their last whereabouts, and what did they use. So it's essentially a virtual game of Clue or Guess Who. So attached to this assignment is a Google Slides presentation with 10 clues that you're going to work through, aka 10 solving rational equation problems. In each clue, there's going to be a spot where you're going to insert a photo of your work. So make sure before you start this part of your assignment today that you get out a piece of paper and a writing utensil handy. And then while I'm in here, I also inserted an image of the steps for solving in case you forgot. And something I want you to know is to make sure that you show all of your work while you're working through these clues in order to get full credit. Here's a link to the video that I'm recording right now. And then your homework is going to be letting me know what the domain restrictions and extraneous solutions are for the 10 problems that you already worked through in the slides. So I realized in the slides it didn't ask for that, but I still want to make sure that we are hitting that second learning objective, which is identifying domain restrictions. And also we talked about extraneous solutions. So for all of the 10 clues and problems you work through, I want you to state the domain restrictions and any extraneous solutions, if there are some. So if there's only one solution, make sure that you check for extraneous. If it is or is not extraneous, remember there's a certain criterion that we have to make sure is satisfied in order to check for extraneous. Does anyone remember? Psst. You have to check for extraneous solutions whenever you multiply by a variable in the denominator when coming up with the LCD. Hopefully you remembered. If not, I gave you a little psst, psst. And then I just want you to insert a photo of your work below. You can attach a photo of your work however you would like, but I do want you to go back through all of those 10 problems and tell me what the domain restriction and extraneous solution is, if any. So he did say that attached to this assignment is a Google Slides presentation. So this is what you guys see. I haven't posted it yet on Google Classroom. This is where you click and you type in all of your information through the through your guys's hyperdoc. And similarly, there's going to also be a link for the slides. So as I open the slides, this is what it looks like. This is the first page. And hopefully it doesn't freeze on me because I've tried recording this, I don't know, 10 times. And it kept freezing on me. So here's the instructions. 6 contestants are on a reality TV show where some to find out that their lowest scoring colleague was injured. You have to figure out the crime scene before the end of the day or before 9 p.m. on Sunday. Since that's when your guys' stuff is due. So the question is who done it and how? We need to figure out the player, the last known whereabouts, and the method as you work through these clues. So number 1, in the slide document, you will find 10 clues that you have to crack. Be sure to show all necessary work in the space provided. You can take a photo of your work and insert it. It says if you prefer to do that, no, you're doing that. I can't edit this slide though. Number 2, Each correct answer is going to rule out a player, a last known whereabouts, or a method. When you get this clue, you need to mark it off on the Who's the Criminal page, slide 3. You can also do this at the very end after you've worked through them all. Number 3, after you collect all 10 clues, there's only going to be one possibility remaining. This reveals the crime. Write a sentence that includes the criminal, location of the crime, and the method used to cause the injury on the What Happened page, which is the very last one. So, looks like we're running into the same issue as I had before, which is a real pain in my rear, I tell you. Real pain. I'm so over it at this point. So, like I said, this is the one where you're going to check off the people. So if you find out that it wasn't Dr. Alpha, you come to this slide and you click X. And that will kind of mark off that. So eventually you'll only have one person here who doesn't have an X next to it. And similarly for the whereabouts and similarly for the method. So you're able to type in here and hit an X. I did that, but it's being really, really slow as I've had a bunch of issues with this today. This slide presentation in general, like just showing it. So hopefully you guys don't have any issues. And then you're going to work through the 10 clues eventually. So now say you're thinking about this and you're like, oh man, I'm feeling kind of rusty. I'm not sure. One, you can go and get your notes from the last lesson that we had. I did ask you guys to take notes and you did work through a couple problems. So go ahead and get that handy. That might be helpful for you. Two, you can reference back in the hyperdoc that I provided for you. I did also write in the steps to solving. So feel free to reference that. Maybe write it down again as you're working through these off to the side, whatever works best for you. Grab a sticky note. Or also, if you're struggling to remember, just head back to that last lesson I did. Go back to Google Classroom, click on it, and click on the video and rewatch the video that we did, or parts of the video, to remind yourself of how we do solve rational equations. So, for example, here's clue number 1. You have to solve for x. 1 over x plus 13 is equal to 1. And so it's going to be potentially any of these answers here, negative 12, negative 10, negative 1, or 14. And it tells you that the victim did not stub a toe, eating berries by the pool, have a venomous bite, pacing in the library, and different people, right? So you'll see over here, my goodness, in the purple box, it says add a photo of your work. So you'll be able to click in there eventually, and that's where you're going to add a photo of your work. Additionally, what I would like you to do is stretch the yellow box over the answer. So if you think, let me close out of this. See if it will let me click in here. Being so fussy. It literally was, you guys, it was perfect this morning. And then immediately as I try to record this, like whatever time, umpteenth time that I've tried to record this, it decides to freeze literally every single time. I was editing this document, I was working through this for so long earlier, and it wasn't giving me any of these issues at all, and now it's just deciding to be a total pain in the butt. So please let me know if you have any issues with this. I'm going to be super upset but you're going to stretch the yellow highlight box over the answer. Where's my mouse? And work through the problem. So on a separate piece of paper, essentially you're going to be writing down clue number 1 and solving the problem. There's 10 of them. They start off really nice and easy, and then they eventually start to increase in difficulty. Nothing you haven't done already or haven't seen before. Remember, you're also going to need to, for your homework, tell me what the domain restrictions and check for extraneous solutions, if any. So you will be working through these. Let's see, hold on a second here. I don't know why it does that. Let me pull it back up on my drive really quick, because it seems to be okay for like 5 minutes and then it gets all crazy. Again, I apologize. I don't know why it's doing this, but I've had it up to here with this darn slides presentation not cooperating. Okay, so right here in this purple box, that's where you're going to add a photo of your work. I'm going to click it. You can either erase that value and click Insert, Photo from File. Let's see if it will let me try it out. So you click this guy, right? You would click. Where'd my mouse go again? Oh my Lord, what is happening? Ay, ay, ay. It like disappears. It's cool up here. The second I pop down, it's gone. What? Anyway, you would insert a photo and highlight the yellow box. You could stretch it. You can change it to a different size and put it over on there. Let me see if I can just get to the last slide and show you where you're going to type your answer after you check off different clues and things like that. So you go all the way down here. After all 10 clues and you starting to narrow down who it is not, what they did not do, where their last whereabouts were not, any day now. This would have been much shorter if it would have just participated and been cool. I apologize about it not being cool, y'all. I've literally been trying to record this since like 10 a.m. It's been almost an hour and a half and it keeps crashing. I've started my computer. I keep all of my other things closed so it doesn't do anything, and it's just being a real pain in my rear. A real pain. On all of my last videos, you guys would have laughed. You just hear me getting frustrated and annoyed and getting wild and crazy. Okay. So here is the last slide. Again, it reminds you, write a sentence that includes the criminal, the location of the crime, and the type of injury. Again, there's a giant text box right there that you're going to type up that sentence of exactly who did it, who done it, the crime, and the type of injury that the person sustained. Cool. Anyways, I'm going to stop this now because it's driving me absolutely bonkers. So this is your assignment for today. Let me know if you guys have any issues. I'm going to actually type that in right here. Please let me know if you have any issues with the slides specifically. And I hope you guys have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day. I will see you guys on Wednesday. Bye.